You already know what it is. Live, raw, and unapologetic. Welcome to the K.L.P. Aftermath Podcast. Where the stories hit harder, the culture gets louder, and the aftermath, always legendary. It's more than a podcast, it's the takeover. Turn it up and lock in, because K.L.P. is in the building.
From Swanky 93.3 and the Heat 94.6 brings back the hottest hip-hop radio show live from K.L.P. Entertainment and K.L.P. Studios. It's K.L.P. Aftermath with your host, K.L.P. Kennedy Lucas.
You know what it is? Put your hands up.
Tune in now on any audio platform.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome. Yeah, buddy. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another exciting podcast here today. This is the K.L.P. Aftermath Podcast powered by Our Heard Media. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome all. You know, we're just growing the show up really well. Y'all heard the sound bite that we got for K.L.P. Aftermath Podcast. The same correspondent, same voice for the Bro Code Podcast ATL. By the way, we hope that you guys have been enjoying that show. Again, give a big shout out to Terry Lester, our producer for the show, and Jackson Smith and Monica Gray as well for their hard work on that show. Let me tell you that it's been quite amazing when it comes down to the correspondence, everybody that is a part of the K.L.P. Entertainment family. You know, this is like the one thing that we're always working on. This is something we're always working to understanding and creating a platform, creating a show, and just really doing it really well. Bro Code Podcast has been one of those shows that I'm very excited about because, Monday. Yeah, when we upload Monday, we was an hour and 40 minutes, an hour and 40 minute podcast. Let me tell you, that was a beefy podcast. Some of it was added because we added the clips from Friday. I'll get to that. But I'm very happy about it. I'm very blessed that, we're able to have put on a good show for you guys. And, a lot of people love it that, we do these things, these podcast shows, and we give you guys just a variety of content. And that's not going anywhere. That's not going anywhere anytime soon. So I'm very blessed with my team. That is something that, we've been cooking up for a very long time. And of course, a lot of people did ask us, we changed the name from Bro Code Podcast to Bro Code Podcast ATL, because it turns out there is another podcast out there on the forum that's called Bro Code Podcast. So in order for us to diversify and to be a little different is something we've got to do and change up the name. So I'm very happy about it. Let me bring the mic down because Evelyn, shout out to Evelyn. Let me tell you. I got to learn to not have the mic on my face, but I kind of like it because I like the bass in it. If you guys missed it again, Evelyn Letitia, I'm sure she's watching the show. That show, What Happened Was podcast was very, it's always awesome to do. And that's just something that I'm very humble about because that is a show that people are tuning in. People are liking. People are watching the content. People are loving what me and Evelyn, our chemistry is there together. She's going to be back in the studio this Friday for another episode. So very excited for that. So thank you to all the viewerships that are, watching the content. And I announced yesterday, and I'll get to an update where how my day was. I'll get to that in a minute, T. We got to do announcements for K.L.P. Entertainment because it's important. So yesterday, if you guys know, you know about it. We always try to innovate, right? We always try to innovate our shows. Yesterday, we announced, and I'm very excited that we announced this thing, our new anime type studio called Konzo Interactive Animation. What Konzo Interactive Animation is about. It's an extension for K.L.P. Entertainment. Me and Sienna Crosswell. Great director, great artist, by the way. We came together to work on a project that we hope you guys will like when it comes out later this fall. And it's called Teasing Hearts. That is a new series for K.L.P Entertainment. I'm very, very excited about this one because when we animated this one and we re-recorded the voice work and the intro and everything about the story, short story, by the way, it's about 6 episodes for the season, right? Short, I know a lot of seasons, a lot of shows, they do like 13 episodes in a season. Some do 24 episodes a season. We're different. 6 will give you nice 6 episodes. This series is very scrumptious. It's very hot. There's some tedious moments. It's a love story, but it's a tedious moment. There's a lot of scenes in there that might think, dang, K.L.P Entertainment's doing something like this now. I'm very, very excited for Teasing Heart to be released to the medium out there because I think it's going to be very, very exciting. We hope that you guys enjoy that show when it comes out. It comes out later this fall. So we're still waiting on it. You know, we got to get through Eden Prime Horizons. Of course, we're working on, I think episode 6 is the next one that's this week. 6, and then the next 2 weeks is 7 and 8, and then we're going to call the season. Obviously, we can only do 6 to 7 episodes a season. We're a small independent studio. We can't do the full 24 episodes a season. We just can't do it. We don't have the manpower. And by the way, I hope everybody's been enjoying Eden Prime Horizons. All of the K.L.P Entertainment TV shows you can watch right now on Oasis Originals over there at Spotify for video. Again, all you got to do is boot up your Spotify, right? If you got a Spotify account, even if you got the premium or the free account, boot it up, type in Oasis Originals by K.L.P Entertainment. You get to see all of the shows like Influencer City. Of course, you get to see that show, and then you're seeing Eden Prime Horizons, right? That's another show that we have out currently right now. And then also on that same channel, that same network, we're going to have Teasing Hearts coming out later this fall. So I'm very excited for the TV division for K.L.P Entertainment. I'm glad that we became very successful in this one, T. You guys remember, we did the TV area, the TV angle before. We've done that before, but we just didn't really hit the strides that we needed to. But now that we're getting back into it, we're getting the viewership. That's something that we're just growing out really, really exciting for a lot of people. So blessed to have all of that out. And one last announcement, again, before I get to the topics of conversation, get to what I have a conversation to talk about. This week, Thursday, you can listen to it Wednesday at midnight, but Thursday, I believe that's the 21st, if I'm not mistaken. Shout out to my girl Sky Love. I talked to her this morning. Said, hey, get ready. I said, get ready because, hey, we've got it to where our album's getting ready to come out. That new album, So We Are in Love. It is a collab album with me and Sky Love. If you guys know, you know. Sky Love is the artist that I've done the song together before. It's called Dizzy. You can listen to that song now. But we came together because we really wanted to collab on something, right? Not just another song, but a full-fledged album. So we hope that you guys enjoy the album when it is out this Thursday. It is called So We're in Love. Let me tell you, I did a little video, and you guys know what the video is about, but this album is about us being in love. I mean, Sky Love and I, we're good friends, we're good colleagues, we work together as artists, right? We're not in love like that, because a lot of people think, ooh, Sky Love's your girlfriend. No, that's just the angle that we're in the entertainment space, so we're here to entertain people. Sky Love, let me tell you guys about her. She just has that range of vocal range that is just quite amazing, right? And I can't say I'm the perfect singer. I'm going to go out there and say it, right? The songs that I sung in this album, I had to do some auto-tune, some fixing up, right? I sing, but not like that. I'm not Chris Brown. But when it comes down to us getting natural and getting these fixing for my voice, but Sky Love just came to the studio and, she's all natural, right? And I hope her vocal range is amazing. And I did say it because I'm probably going to do like the little video from my car. I probably already uploaded that to social media, but it is true. We are not done. We are still cooking up 9 more songs. Tidbit, the songs are already done, but we cooked up 9 more songs for you guys to listen to, but that's going to be in the deluxe version of this album. So We're in Love, coming out mid-September. We got to give you a little taste first, right? We're going to give you a little taste of what we worked on But then and you probably will, once you like it, guys, you're going to want more. And then that's when the deluxe come in. And I'm very proud of this one because this is the first ever album that I did that we had a deluxe version for it. This is my first go round. So hopefully the deluxe angle works. I know a lot of artists nowadays, they make an album, a standard album, and then about 2 weeks later, they give you a deluxe. So this is our first go around at it. Why not? Because, why not? So again, I hope that you guys enjoy So We're in Love. So let me tell y'all what's been going on with me personally before we get to the Raw review. I've got the Raw review. We're going to review a video game and a show that I started watching. We'll get to all of that fun stuff in today's episode. So we hope that you guys, enjoy the episode, really tune in and enjoy. But when it comes down to it, this is what's been going on. Again, gym's always good. I always try to talk about my workout. If you guys know, I try to do as much of workout videos so many workout videos that I can, because it is just something that I'm working on. I genuinely enjoy, being able to do this thing out really well and for you guys to really enjoy what we got going on with the gym. It's just one of those things that is a part of me right now. It's a part of me right now. There's just something I cannot live without. But if you listen to What Had Happened Was podcast on Saturday and on Instagram, again, follow us at WHHW Radio 1. That's our official What Had Happened Was Instagram and social media. And this is kind of like a conversation to my gentlemen. It's a relationship conversation. I get it. I do this a whole heck of a lot when it comes down to it, but I like to open the show up with a nice story, right? So if you listen to What Had Happened Was podcast on Saturday and on social media, I think I've become better at, like, when you had a small, because I'll admit, I had a small crush on somebody. It's rare that I have small crushes nowadays, but I had a crush, just a small one. And you really learn to, it's a humbling experience, I would say this. And the whole topic of this conversation is, to my fellas and to my ladies too, we ladies can get rejected too. I am on the impression that it's okay to, first of all, it's okay to be rejected on somebody or get rejected by somebody. I think I've came to the conclusion that if I get rejected from somebody, I know to not take it to heart. I know to not cuss her out and call her out her name, because if she's not interested, she's not interested. And I'm going to go out and say I didn't necessarily get rejected on this one, but you kind of read somebody without really introducing yourself to them. And let me tell you what I mean. On What Happened Was podcast, I talked about this girl that I liked, that I had just a small attraction to when I saw her. I see her a lot in the mornings. And I would have this small attraction to her, but I never had the courage. Well, I probably could have had the courage, but like, for us fellas, we kind of have to read the room a little bit. And I've learned that now, and I'm learning this a lot now too. I'm learning that I know that I'm not going to be the chaser. I get it. Ladies, hear me out, because I know what y'all are about to say in the comments. I know what you're about to chime in and say. But I have this feeling that if, let's say the girl is on one side of the gym, and I'm coming in the gym, getting ready for my workout, I won't deliberately go towards her and won't approach her like that. If I know that I'm getting ready for the gym, I'm here for my peace of mind and my peace of moment, right? I think I'm the type of person that, again, ladies, I know what you're about to say, but I think I'm the type of person that I genuinely want to see how women approach men. I don't think there's nothing wrong with women approaching men if they find that kind of attraction towards somebody. And I think I'm on that mindset now simply because it's been a moment where I've approached women, and I said this to Evelyn on What Happened Was podcast on Saturday. It is FOBCC. And you guys want to know what that is? It's fear of being called a creep at the gym. FOBCC. I have a fear and phobia of that because I am not a creep. I'm not a creep. I am not the R word. I'm not the M word, right? I am just a humble guy who makes an honest living, talking on a mic, doing a podcast, and living the best life that I know that I can. And when love finds me, love will come to me, right? So I see her a lot in the gym, and I don't think I'm ever going to have the ability to come up and introduce myself because, number one, I'm nervous about it. Have I done that to a girl where I just approach a girl nice and calm and introduce myself? Yeah, plenty of times. But I don't think I'm going to be able to do that because now I changed my mind. I changed my mind, right? And it's so weird for me. It's like the weirdest thing when you had a crush on somebody, but then you're like, I don't think I like her anymore. It's weird that we, as humans, we think like that. But I thought that way today in the gym because there's nothing wrong with her physique. She looked really good in the gym. I didn't really like her hair bundled up like that. I like her hair in a nice ponytail, honestly, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. I could tell, and I might be completely wrong. I could be completely wrong. I could. I read the sign wrong the other day when I said on to Evelyn and what had happened was where the other day I was working out and I was lifting and she went to go grab something. I guess one of the little yoga poles. And she smiled at me and I smiled back at her. I looked down at the weights and then I looked up. She's still smiling at me. And she looked down too. And at first I thought she was nervous, right? It could have been where she was kind of creeped out. I could have creeped her out because I didn't have a goofy ass looking smile. I just got my normal smile. Like I'm gonna, hey, I'm not weird with my smile. But I'm starting to think that she probably was creeped out when I smiled at her and then she smiled back. So that way she doesn't feel creeped out. Right? It's like the same thing as like laughing through the comedy, right? If somebody embarrass you or laughing through the embarrassment, right? If I get embarrassed, I laugh it off because clearly I'm embarrassed, right? But I'm going to laugh it off and joke it off. It could have been that, right? It could have been that reason. And I see the look in some of these ladies' faces, and she did the last 2 times I've seen her. She had a stern look. I just don't know if she, and again, guys, I don't know. But I don't know if she has it bad at home. I don't even know if she got a whole boyfriend or not, right? I've never seen her boyfriend in the gym with her or with a guy or with a girl, right? I could be reading this totally wrong to where she has a girlfriend, right? I don't know. You never know. But I'm starting to understand it. And like, I don't think she would be the one for me. Again, I joked about it. Yes, she's a white girl. And, I don't see race when it comes to my attraction. I like any type of skin color. I don't cater to one skin color, whether it's black, white, purple, blue, brown, orange. I like them all. If you have a nice personality, that's my take, right? So I just don't think that I will be the one for her. And I just I've learned to, if there's nothing there where if you try to approach her, she gets nervous. If you try to resent her a little bit, then she will want you more. And let me tell you, and I'll give you a backstory because let me tell you how long I've seen her in the gym. Not stalking her, long time I've seen her in the gym. This was months ago when I brought one of my friends who is a girl, which is funny because me and my old girl that I brought to the gym, we're no longer friends because we fell out. But when we were friends, I would bring her to the gym. And I came to the gym with a friend that's a girl, and we're working out, we're doing our thing, and we're just kicking it. And then the same girl that I'm talking about now, she comes and works out in the same facility that me and my friend that's a girl, we were working lifting weights, and she comes right next to me trying to work out. And I'm like, you've never done that before, but you see me with another girl, now you all up in my face. So I do understand that guys, let me tell you, and then this is not me hating on women, right? Because I love my women, but guys, I'm putting y'all on game real quick. I think that some women, go for guys when we pay them no never mind. I'll say it again. I think some women likes us more or try to get to know us more when we don't pay them no never mind. Because I do that all the time in the gym. I go to the gym. There's been quite a few girls that I had crushes on that I liked, right? To where I kind of ignore them, not in a rude way, but just kind of like, I pay you no never mind. I'm not here for you. I'm not looking in your direction. I am staring off in space. I'm listening to music. I'm lifting weights. I am not thinking about you. And then all of a sudden you in my face trying to get that attention. I don't know why some women do that, but some women do that. And maybe that could be where, hey, if you don't think about it, you don't approach her, you don't think about it, you pay her no never mind, you worry about yourself, worry about your fitness, you do you, my friend. I honestly think she might turn around and try to get that attraction from you. And if she does not give that attraction, then it's not meant to be, right? If it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. You move on. Because I am a firm believer there's plenty of fish in the sea. There's a lot of girls in this world that you can get on with, right? For me, I learned to resent some women, pay them no never mind. And it happened recently with somebody. I ain't gonna name their names on the show, and I ain't gonna name their position at the gym because I probably get caught up. But when you don't say hey that much too, that's the thing too. Because when I meet a lady that's a friend that's a girl, I say hey to her. I try to talk to her, but then you'll learn that they start ignoring you. Because I had one friend that works there that I would say hey to a whole heck of a lot and spark up a quick little conversation. But lately we haven't been doing that. We haven't looked each other's direction. We haven't said hey in a while. And I'm like, damn, is it something I said? But then I paid it no never mind. I said, okay, whatever. I moved on. Tell me why that same girl said hey to me 2 days ago. Hey, Kenny, how you doing? What's going on? Like, so you're talking to me now. Because the past month, you ain't look my direction. You ain't say, hey, we ain't spark no conversation. You wouldn't really rock it with me right now. And now you want to say, hey, because I'm resenting you now? Women do that. They do that. It's the stupidest shit ever. But some women do that. So it could be to where if you pay these ladies, no, never mind. I do say to my young kings out there, you guys focus on yourself first and foremost. I know I talk about relationships, tea and stuff, but really focus on yourself first, guys, because there's nothing more important than being able to work on yourself. If you work on yourself and you've created your own self-worth, then right? To not worry too much about a girl if you just focus, go to the gym. Because nowadays, I've been doing this, but I go to the gym, I'm lifting weights, I'm trying to lose weight for myself. Right. It's not me trying to lose weight for a girl. It's not trying to me look sexy and try to look fantastic for a girl. I want to look fantastic and sexy for myself. And because I know that I'm in the great health and the great shape of my life. That's why I go to the gym. I don't do it for anybody. I do think girlfriends, because I've talked about this a lot in the podcast, I do think some women do that where you got to resent them for a minute. And it's going to suck because you want to say, hey, I want to approach this girl in the gym, right? I really do. I want to introduce myself at least. And if it doesn't go to a sexual thing or a relationship thing, then it could be a friendship thing too. Guys that approach girls at the gym, we're not looking for sex all the time. Now, sex is great. I'm not going to lie to you. Sex is great, but I just want to get to know you as a person, right? And we could become great friends, right? A lot of people don't do that anymore. We don't. But then you got it to where, again, I'm kidding on you ladies, but this is, y'all know what y'all doing. I've seen ladies with damn near bra and panties on in the gym, and they know exactly what they're doing. They want that attraction. They want us to hound them down, not in a creepy way, just to try to approach us but for the potential of, hey, you're creeping me out. You caught me on your phone camera, creeping you out, asking you your number, asking you for your name. And that's why we don't do that anymore. Right? Because we got too much to lose. It is weird. It is the weirdest thing. It's just part of the gym culture that, man, it sucks. The gym culture, sometimes it does suck. That's why a lot of dudes that are in there, especially in the gym I go to, they're not focused on anybody there. Laser focused. And then this next part that happened today, in particular at the gym, after I came to that conclusion that I don't think I like that girl anymore, and you have to move on because I don't think it's meant to be. Three beautiful Medellin women working out near me, and one of the trainers came up to me. Because I guess he might have saw one of my workout videos, but and he saw me pushing today in the gym. He said, "Hey, kid, you working? I see you out here working. You looking smaller than usual. You working?" And then I joked. I said, "Yeah, because I got these three lovely ladies around me, so I have to impress." As a joke. Again, I don't do it for the ladies, but they were very, very beautiful, melanin type women. There was this one girl that she looked a little bit older, you can tell, but like that good kind of old. Like, not like old, but like, yeah, I would, because she did. And honestly, she didn't look that much older than me. She probably could be in her like early 30s, and I'm in my late 20s. I'm 29, so it could work. But besides the point, guys, the gym culture is changing, but I wanted to give you guys my little take. Comment below what you think about this as well. Now, coming up next, let's talk about it. Let's talk about WWE Raw. You guys know what we do. Every podcast or so, we try to talk about the Raw review when it comes down to Monday Night Raw. Of course, they were in Philly. Shout out to Philly. They were in Philly last night, and of course, it's very, very exciting because, Clash in Paris is on its way. First of all, I got to give a grand shout out to AAA Triple Mania. That pay-per-view on Saturday, it's on YouTube. Very good. Over 4 million views in the first 24 hours. I mean, they got something with AAA now. I want to see Alberto Del Rio in that because I think he's a fantastic wrestler. I follow Alberto Del Rio social media, and he's been performing, but not at stadiums, not at arenas. He's just been performing at high schools and small gymnasiums because, hey, he still believes in the product. I hope Alberto Del Rio gets a part of AAA because he's actually not bad of a wrestler, and I want to see him back into the limelight on a big stage. I really do. I really like his theme song too. So we hope that it happens for Alberto Del Rio, but AAA Triple Mania reach over 4 million views on YouTube. They've got a market there. I'm really happy about Corey Graves because you guys know I've been a very critic of Corey Graves when he was talking crap about Pat McAfee, and I've said this before. Corey Graves now, I guess he's understanding now that business is not personal, because I've said this in many episodes, when Corey Graves talked crap about Pat McAfee via Twitter back in the day, it crushed him, right? It got him to, and NXT is not a down-led show, and NXT is pretty good too, but like Corey Graves almost got fired from WWE because they're following the money. So I'm glad Corey Graves is able to understand, because now he is on Raw again. He's doing Triple Mania. He's doing NXT. Like, you got to hone in on the commentating, and if they make a commentating decision, you just got to understand it. I wish I could sit next to Corey Graves or Michael Cole commentating WWE, right? There's many, many other broadcasters and podcasters and journalists out there that could be better than me. I'm still training on this thing, but you just got to understand the market. So I'm glad about that. So we've got Jey Uso versus Braun Breaker in Extreme Rules match. Io Sky versus Raquel Rodriguez. Women's Intercontinental Championship. Natalya versus Becky Lynch. Penta versus Xavier Woods, the latest from the Vision, and an update from Naomi. I got to say, big shout out to Naomi and Big Jim. Because let me tell you, Naomi said it on her, and last night she said, Big Jim like to Netflix and chill. I bet Big Jim said, I bet he'd tear that ass up. I'm joking, but congratulations to Naomi and Jimmy Uso. They are expecting child, which led to her to relinquish her championship. Again, she is the women's world champion. Well, she currently was before tonight or last night. She had to relinquish it because she's pregnant. I kind of knew that this was lining up because things have been circulating, rumors that she was pregnant, and how the way they formed it, and how the way on Stephanie McMahon's What's Your Story, when she said, hey, you got some big news, and it was them two announcing it, and she got very emotional. Them hormones do kick in when you're pregnant. So when I saw those signs, like, oh, Naomi's pregnant. So that's the announcement. So she comes out. She begins her segment. Of course, she got emotional, but I really loved it when she cussed out Adam Pearce. I'm a big Adam Pearce guy. I think he's funny, but I'm so glad that this was an announcement for sure. But I'm glad that Naomi stayed in character. That is the dopest thing that I've ever seen somebody just continue to stay in character. Because proceed with caution, she's the heel. And she said, Adam Pearce, I ain't handling you shit. So she lays it down across the ring and just say, hey, I'm pregnant. But when I come back, I'm coming back for what's mine. Perfect way to go out. I do wish Naomi and Big Jim very happy congratulations. That is a couple that I think I know they're going to be great parents because they're both top superstar. So of course they got the money to raise their kid again, but I'm very happy about it. Naomi deserves it. I think Naomi deserves everything that she's getting. I really do, in a good way, because Naomi's really good. She's stuck with WWE through the highs and lows, the trenches of WWE in her starter career. And leaving WWE to go to TNA just to come back, Naomi is really good. She could sell herself as a character. She can wrestle really, really well. So I'm a big Naomi fan when it comes down to it. A happy congratulations. I joke with my big brother Alex because he's a big fan of Naomi. He like chocolate. I'm like, yeah, how you feel about that? Because she's been married for a while, but she got a kid now. So I can't wait for her return in about 9 months and some change. I think she's going to be back stronger than ever. But very congratulations. The show did kick off with the Vision, of course, as Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed, and the one, the only Paul Heyman. It's very special because Paul Heyman's from Philly, right? And then he named ECW. Again, ECW started in Philly, so that was just a great homage that he paid tribute to. He paid tribute to Sabu, Sandman. He actually talked crap about Tommy Dreamer. I can't wait to listen to the Busted Open podcast to see what Tommy Dreamer has to say about that. But he paid homage to the Dudley Boys as well. Of course, Jay Uso comes out and comes in to interrupt that segment again in the crowd. I really like it that Jay Uso allowed the kiddos to have some voice on the mic, just saying yeet. Of course, you got to be kind of careful with that because you don't know. Kids are kids. Kids say a lot of crazy things. So you gotta watch kids when they get a mic and you're live. You don't want your kid cussing and yelling and not saying a profanity as young kids. But it's very good that he interacted with the crowd, and then they made it an Extreme Rules match. And then the next match we had was Io Sky versus Raquel Rodriguez. Io gave us a great time. They gave us a great time when it comes down to the moves there, high flying moves. Then when Roxanne got involved in the match, you got Mommy to come out, Rhea Ripley come out. Let me tell you what Rhea Ripley was wearing her top. I got nervous. I got nervous because it was the top sexy, but look, I don't judge women's attire, but it looked like a red sexy bra. It did. I got nervous, like, ooh. And then like Rhea Ripley doing the kicks and stuff, like, ooh, careful, because her, her melons just bouncing like, hey, careful, because you don't want to have a wardrobe malfunction on live TV. But it goes to show you that the storyline is still there for that. Of course, with Asuka and Kairi Sane. Let me tell you, Kairi Sane, her outfit last night, hot. Anyway, they're going through it, and they want to be support for Io Sky, and that's Asuka and Kairi Sane. But Io Sky says, no, I want to figure this thing out by myself, right? Because if I just have help, then I'm not really figuring this thing out by myself. Right. I can't wait to see. Now, Io Sky did defeat Rodriguez in the match there. To take note of the interruptions when it comes down to it, they graded that match a grade B for Bleacher Report, and then the next match was Penta versus Xavier Woods. Sure, I mean, I get it. Penta defeats Woods. This match was kind of quiet. I don't like matches to be super quiet from the crowd, because to me, it doesn't really make the match when the crowd is just really quiet, as if they're bored. And that's when I seen a lot in this. Now, the shirt looks funny. Of course, New Day is mourning because they lost the championships, right? And then Xavier would say that, hey, the $12,000 goofy looking hat is now $18,000. Again, it's absurd that Penta, who once appeared on the big win away from the breaking through to the main event of Monday Night Raw, now he's taking a back seat to New Day's morning here. It is disappointing because when Penta first came out, Penta was supposed to be this gigantic, and he's still a star, but like, he was supposed to come out and main event and really do his thing, right? I'm surprised they don't have a belt on him yet. So it's like you gave us Penta and this breakout superstar, and we think, okay, he's going far. But then we don't get that much from Penta nowadays. That's what it kind of makes me nervous about Penta right now, right? It's the same thing with the New Day. I get it. It's the gimmick. It's something they got to do. I get it. But this match felt a little quiet. And another match that felt semi-quiet was the Judgment Day versus Mr. Iguana and Dragon Lee. I'm glad that Mr. Iguana didn't mess up much in this match. I remember when he debuted on SmackDown, Mr. Iguana made a lot of mistakes on SmackDown. What was it, 2 weeks ago? Maybe a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, when he debuted his first match on SmackDown. He fumbled a lot of his moves on that, because I watched it. He fumbled a lot. I'm glad to see that he didn't fumble that much. I'm not really too big onto him crawling to the ring, the iguana puppet. Like, I'm not a big fan of that. I think it's goofy as hell. I'm just not a person that like gimmicky gimmicks like that. It looks goofy as hell. Like, I'm just not a fan of that. Dragon Lee, the same thing. Dragon Lee was a huge star when he first came out, but I think he's kind of dying off as well. And I hate to say that because, Mexican wrestling's on the rise right now with AAA, obviously, but like the LWO kind of falling off for me, right? They're not on TV as much, right? And then they're doing goofy gimmicks. And then you got Dragon Lee that's tag teaming up with Mr. Iguana. Mr. Iguana, I'm sorry, he's a good wrestler, he's a good athlete, but I just think his gimmick is goofy, right? It just doesn't appeal to me as a wrestling fan. So, feels good to see the Judgment Day defeated Iguana and Dragon Lee again. This match was also, to me, this was a quiet match, right? The crowd got into it to where it needed to be at some points, but it wasn't as loud or exciting that we're prone for it to be. And then we had the Women's Intercontinental Championship, Natalya versus Becky Lynch. At the beginning of the match, Natalya probably did a rough bump, right? Rough bump that really hurt her. Big fan of Maxine Dupree. I said this last week when Maxine Dupree had her match with Becky. I'm sorry. I just hate if it's a goofy gimmick, because Maxine Dupree, she kind of has a goofy gimmick too. She does, because she's pretty now. Don't get me wrong. She's pretty. She's fine. But I want to see her more in a ring, to where she's in the ring, she's doing some moves, she's actually wrestling, for her to potentially have a belt in her future. And that's what we didn't see last week. I'm going to say it. I said it last week. I said it this week. Maxine Dupree got her ass kicked by Becky Lynch, right? Last week. Now, this match with Natalya, this wasn't an ass whooping. This was a close bout. I knew Natalya wasn't going to get a belt, because honestly, I think Natalya, in my opinion, and I might be wrong, but I honestly do think that Natalya is just happy to be there. She was a top star and she had belts in her name, whether it's a championship or a tag team belt. She had belts, right? And she had the moves, but like, I think Natalya has settled to the part to where if you throw me in a big match, cool. But if you throw me in a dark match, like the opener, then that's cool too. Because I remember when we went to Raw, she was in a dark open match. And what that is, if you go to the live events, you get about 2 matches before the actual show starts, right? To just get the crowd warmed up. And Natalya, she had a dark match. And I think Natalya's just saying, oh, well, hey, I'm happy to be here. I'm getting a check, you know. And it sucks because Natalya, in my opinion, Natalya still have a lot to do, have a lot to go, have a lot to prove, right? I want her to be on Money Monet status, right? Sasha Banks, right? Or a Becky Lynch or Rhea Ripley, right? People who can get a bigger pop. I kind of want to see that in Natalya one day before she decides to retire, because like other superstars, Natalya is one of them that she's getting a little bit older. Not saying that she's old, but she getting a little bit older, right? Her time ticket, right? So that's just kind of a disappointment. Another quiet match. They gave it a C+ as well. I talked about Naomi coming out and chanting. She's announcing that she is pregnant. They gave that segment an A+. Obviously, when anybody announces that they're having a child, that's always exciting. Like I say, she stayed in character. That's why it's deserving of the A+ from Bleacher Report, because she did really well. And then the Extreme Rules match, it was Jey Uso versus Braun Breaker. Slobber knocker of a match, really. I really thought that, and this could be where Braun Breaker really hurt his knee, right? So towards the beginning of the match, Jey Uso and them are tussling, and Jey Uso and Braun Breaker, they're tussling around the ring. And of course, he clotheslined them over the ring onto the cart of Extreme Rules stuff, like Kindle sticks and garbage, trash can, toolbox, and he cracked his knee on top of all of that stuff. So I think Braun Breaker really hurt his knee for real. It was a great match when it comes down to it. When it comes down to everything going into there, Jey Uso is able to keep up again. I'm glad that Jey Uso is keeping up with the solidified badass of Braun Breaker. I do see Braun Breaker getting championship status again one day, very soon. I think he's going to be a main eventer. I am a big fan of Braun Breaker. I like how the way he tweaks every time he's mad. I think that's the funniest shit ever. And he can keep up. He can really keep up. The bona fide badass, and that's Braun Breaker, right? I can't wait. I get the Vision gimmick right now, but I cannot wait until Braun Breaker becomes back solo, right? Because he's going to be a great superstar, right? He's going to sell his character really well to an audience, and he's a good wrestler. I want to see it. I wouldn't be mad if we see a Braun Breaker versus Brock Lesnar. Could you imagine? 2 solidified powerhouses. I think that would be a great match. Honestly, I really do. Maybe that's coming soon. Maybe. But of course, within the win, of course, Jey Uso wins against Braun Breaker, gets attacked by Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed. And I'm trying to see, Seth Rollins came out too. And then this brought LA Knights, Seth Rollins, and eventually CM Punk comes out for the final bout of it all, because it's going to be a fatal 4-way at Clash of Paris. And then we saw Roman Reigns come back out, right? I'm curious to see what Roman Reigns, I'm curious to see what Roman Reigns' storyline this time around, because he hasn't been on the main cards wrestling. He's just been in support of Jay. and getting tsunami like crazy and getting his shoes taken away from him from Bronson Reed. So I can't wait to see what the character development of Roman Reigns will be like when it comes down to it. And that was the synopsis of the show. They gave that grade a B+ for Monday Night Raw. The Extreme Rules match was the take, and then Naomi's announcement was a great take. The other matches, they were just kind of quiet. Maybe that might be something that, something that they got to deal with when it comes down to it. But I look forward to more of Monday Night Raw for next week as they get ready. They're going to be out of the country next week, so we're ready to see what that happens up for sure. So very, very excited for that. Now I got a top story, kind of like a review, but here's the top story here.
Some of y'all might know this,
Yeah.
and some of y'all don't.
Let's do it.
K.L.P.
I'm really late on this
All
review, too.
the topics, stories, and gossip.
Hey.
It is now time for our top
Hey.
story from K.L.P.
So the top story today on the K.L.P. Aftermath podcast, it's kind of like a review, but I wanted to talk a little bit about it. I know I'm very, very late on this show review. I'm catching up on all the shows that are out right now because there's not really much to watch nowadays. I did a review last week on Lioness. Great show. Go watch it. From Paramount Plus. It's Zoe Saldana's show. And I got into the army type shows. I've got into the police type shows. I've been watching FBI. Not as lately because there's just so many of those type of shows, right? So I wanted to watch something a little different that's kind of like the FBI cop type show because those shows are very thrilling when it comes down to it. So this show, a couple of my friends told me about, and it's available on Netflix right now. And it's this show called SWAT. So SWAT is a show that it came out November 2nd of 2017. So again, few years back. I missed it. Yes. The final episode date is scheduled for May of next year, 2026. And of course, this show has Shamar Moore in it. Shamar Moore is everybody's favorite actor. That's like the buff chocolate black dude, right? He plays Daniel Hondo Harrelson. He is a Los Angeles SWAT lieutenant. And he's assigned to lead a highly skilled unit in the community where he grew up in. Torn between loyalty and the streets where the cops are sometimes the enemy. So that's kind of a political power play on that one. And the allegiance of his brothers in the blue. He strategically straddles the two worlds. Hondo encouraged his team to rely on communication and respect over force aggression. But when a crisis erupts, this influences men and women are prepared to put their tactical training to the test. Very, very good show. Again, high-packed action. Shamar Moore is great at what he does as an actor, so I had no worries on him. So he's leading a team. You got the officer number 3. You've got, her name is Lena Esco. That's the actress name. She plays Christina. Then you've got Dominic Luca. Kenny Johnson plays him. And then you got the sergeant number 2. You got David Kay, who's played by Jade Harrelson. And then you got Jim Street. Jim Street's one of my favorites because he's young, he's cool, he's like spunky. Alex Russell, I've seen it in a couple of stuff too. David Lim, I've seen him in a couple of stuff too. He plays Victor Tan. And that's part of the SWAT members. And then you got Patrick Esprit. He's been in a lot of FBI SWAT cop type shows or movies. His character is Robert Hicks. And then you got Stephanie Sigmund. Hey. She plays Captain Jessica Cortez. And she's like the captain of the SWAT team. But she also have a love interest with Hondo, played by Shamar Moore. So this is kind of like a little bit of a quick review because I mean, it's like 8 seasons. So I just started. But this is a show that I think everybody's going to enjoy because each episode is like a different story. And I love shows like that. Although shows who have a continued storyline is great sometimes it can get a little boring, right? I feel with SWAT in particular, each episode has a different storyline that ornates around the SWAT team, right? That's what makes this show really, really, really good. Shamar Moore being a fantastic actor, he's black leader of the SWAT team, and then it's Los Angeles, and then you're going through politicals and crooked cops, because honestly, I'll say it, I think there's a lot of crooked cops in this world. There's a lot of good cops, but there's a lot of crooked cops too. So he's forced to face that, because there's this one episode where this young kid got shot in the community, and the crowd erupts because they think that's, he shot a black kid, police brutality. Right. And then it goes to war between humans and cops. Right. So it's just one of those things that happens every day in real life. And they really bring it to screen. The action packed is really, really nice. I really love the action packed type of shows. It really teaches you some things about SWAT in itself. And it's very, very good show. I recommend people to watch it. Again, it came out in 2017. Yes, I know. And 8 seasons in, but this is a show that I'm dabbling into. I can't really give too much of a full in-depth review because each episode is different, right? Each episode has a different storyline, and I think that is, there are a lot of shows that are like that are the copy type shows, but this one, I think this is a must-watch. I can't wait to see what Shamar Moore's character, Hondo. I just like his nickname, Hondo, right? I really like that nickname. Like, I want to call myself that. Hey, I'm Hondo, right? I can't. People call me the Swank Man or Swank or Swanky, right? I like nicknames, I really do. But like I say, Shamar Moore, fantastic in the show. Everybody is very, very good on this show, and we're not going to steer too much away from SWAT because I do have a game review that goes along with this. Believe it or not. So this new game that came out is called Ready or Not. Y'all want to know what this game is about? This game is a first-person tactical shooter video game developed and published by Void Interactive. Very good company. It stimulates the modern-day SWAT operations in the fictional city of Los Angeles, where players must respond to high-stakes situations involving criminals. The game emphasizes on strategy, gameplay, teamwork, and adherence to rules of engagement. So this game goes into my SWAT review, right? So, presented by Our Heart Media, we were able to purchase this game, play it, and review it for you guys on the show. This is a must-play shooter. I will say that, first and foremost. This game gets my air horn because, ready or not, and I wish all games were like this, because I'm glad that this game was not you need to have online play, right? Because sometimes my friends are busy. The time I want to play a video game, they might be busy doing something. I'm glad that they made this a single campaign type mode-ish, because you are playing a character who is in SWAT. That's the leader of the SWAT team, directing orders, doing the shootouts, planning, telling your teammates what to do with restraint or clear an entry with a flashbang. Oh, watch out from the corner. Keep your eye on your partner. Oh, have my 6, right? Form up. That's what this game does. You're playing a character who is part of SWAT, and there are about 10 missions that you got to go through. And it's a point space on each mission, right? You play a mission, you want to get the highest score because then you become a leaders on the leaderboard if you have such a great score. And within that score, it's like finding evidence. If you got it to where somebody's shooting at you, try to restrain them without killing them, because SWAT, that's not really part in what is not supposed to be with any FBI or police. When you're trying to restrain somebody, you're not supposed to just shoot them dead, right? And obviously, if they keep shooting at you, then you might have to use lethal force. But ideally, not just with SWAT, any police should learn from this, where you're there to protect and serve. You're not supposed to just shoot and kill. But, in the world we live in today, you just got to be careful. On the game, there is a thing where if somebody's shooting at you, you got to try to restrain them without killing them. in the game because you earn extra points if you do it that way. So that's why this game is really good. This game is available right now for Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5. It is, your tactical. It's a tactical shooter because you can shoot, but like you got to strategically plan out. You have options to have your teammates with you, or you can separate them out. You have the option to make sure that, like in this game, if somebody's injured or hurt, they might be anxious. And now, like in the menu, you gotta those teammates, SWAT mates who are anxious, and you have the ability to take them to therapy. Yeah, you're taking people to therapy in this video game. You got to take them to therapy and swap out SWAT members until they're back from therapy, right? So I think that was a nice little touch to it because it's like you're learning to strategically plan out where you want your teammates to be. If they're not mentally there, they need to go to therapy so they can be mentally there on the field. I do like the voice acting in this game. When you're going through the mission briefing, it's like a brief, and then it has the audio of people calling 911. It felt like a TV show. Really, really good. I really love this one. First person shooter with all the gears. Of course, you got the flashbangs. You've got the cameras on each other. Everybody's cam on their helmets. You've got zip ties and cuffs. You've got cameras to look through the door to make sure there's no enemy with an armed weapon, right? You really got to be strategic in this game. So I am on the third level. I know, because there's 10. Third level, I'm stumped on that one because I like to have my teammate near me, right? And I got shot at so many times. So this is a game that if you want to rush through it, you can. But this is a game you don't want to really rush through. What I mean by that, T, is like when you're going through the level, I move very slow in the levels, right? I'm looking at everything. I'm going through every quarter. I'm finding every evidence. I'm moving very slowly around the corner because you don't know. That's the thing about this game is you don't know. It's unpredictable. Like it's not programmed for you to do like a narrative, right? Narratives is programmed, is very direct. You're very linear gameplay. This game is not linear. Far from it. You really got to strategically think in this game. Okay, if you got somebody, you can instruct somebody to go on there, but clear and search, have their back. And if you have 2 doors, for an example, because I've had that happen, 2 pathways, you can split your team to go to those areas. The one gripe about it is the the weapons wheel and the command wheel. It's like it's weird because you have to flick your left stick up and then pray that you did it right for it to work. That's the only gripe. I wish they would have made that smoother, like to where you can kind of, if you click the right trigger, it opens up your command wheel. Use your left thumbstick to move where you want that command and like hit a button for it to activate. It's weird. You have to like click and hold, flick it, and then release the R trigger. It's confusing for me because there's a lot of buttons going on the game. So I got used to it, but I wish they would have made that a little bit smoother. But besides the point, Ready or Not is available right now. It came out early access launch for PC back in 2023, but it got redeveloped for 2025. It came out July 15th for PlayStation 5. Again, yes, I'm late to it, but it's been a game that everybody's been talking about as of late. And that is a game that everybody's playing right now. It's just a tactical thing. I really like it. I like it. And some people may not like it, but it's good for me. And it works. So if you need something new to play, we're getting ready for it too, because I want to say this next week, Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater, the remake, is coming out. A lot of great games are coming out. So get ready for that because we're touching fall. I can't wait until Nintendo's next Direct because I want to know when that Metroid game comes out, right? We're touching fall, y'all. I can't wait for it. So, Ready or Not, SWAT Operations Tactical, go play the game if you looking for something new to play. And if you're looking for something new to watch, SWAT all the way. I love it. I really do love it. That's going to wrap it up here on our podcast here, K.L.P Aftermath. We hope that you guys enjoyed today's episode. By far, we love y'all. We love the audience. We love everybody. So we thank y'all in advance. Again, stay tuned. Bro Code Podcast, new episode comes out tomorrow. Can't wait for that as well. And a new episode of What Happened Was comes out this Friday as well. And more content because we are going back for East Forsyth Broncos football game. Friday night lights, under the lights for high school football. And I'll give y'all the behind the scenes that's coming Friday. Can't wait. It's going to be very, 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 very exciting. That's going to wrap it up here. K.L.P. Aftermath Podcast. Until then, we say so long. Stay safe. Stay swanky. Peace.
Go! What's going on in Hot Atlanta? Live from Swanky 93.3 and the Heat 94.6 brings back the hottest hip-hop radio show live from K.L.P. Entertainment and K.L.P. Studios. Go! It's K.L.P. Aftermath with your host, K.L.P. Kennedy Lucas.
You know what it is? Put your hands up.
Tune in now on any audio platform.
Go.